Welcome to Lesson 2 of Phase 2. Today we climb the 3 layers of Kubernetes: pods, ReplicaSets, and deployments. This is where the mountain gets real. By the end, you will understand the YAML manifest, rolling updates, rollbacks, and scaling. Let's go. First, the pod. The pod is the smallest unit that Kubernetes runs. It is a grouping of one or more containers that share everything: network identity, storage, and lifecycle. In practice, you run one main container per pod. And here is the key insight. Kubernetes does not run containers. It schedules pods. Second, the ReplicaSet. Think of it as the reconciliation engine. Its entire job is to enforce one rule. There must always be n pods matching these labels. If a pod dies, the ReplicaSet creates a new one. If there are too many, it kills the extras. You usually do not create ReplicaSets by hand. Deployments create them for you. Third, the deployment. This is what you actually deploy. It declares the desired pod template, the replica count, and how to change it safely. Rolling updates, rollbacks, all of that lives here. The rule of thumb for 90% of your workloads is simple: use deployments. Now let's look at your first real manifest. Everything in Kubernetes is written as YAML with 4 top-level fields: API version, kind, metadata, and spec. Read this one like a sentence. Here is a complete deployment manifest for a web server. Here is the full manifest. API version apps v1. Kind deployment. Metadata name web with label app web. Spec 3 replicas. The selector matches pods with label app web. The template describes what a pod looks like. One container named web using image in Jinx 1.27, exposing port 80. The one line to understand deeply is the selector. The selector says, find pods that carry the label app web. And the template labels say, pods created by this deployment carry that label. The selector and the template labels must match. That is the contract. Here is the central idea. Deployments do not track pods by name. They track by labels. You learn labels in Phase 0. Kubernetes finds everything by labels. Change the selector, and the deployment looks at a different set of pods. Labels are the glue of the whole system. Now let's run it. The standard way to deploy is kubectl apply, not create. Apply is declarative. It tells Kubernetes the desired state, and Kubernetes makes it happen. Let's apply the manifest and ride the hierarchy. Now the magic command, kubectl get deploy, rs, puh. This shows all 3 layers at once: the deployment, the ReplicaSet, and the pods. Notice the ReplicaSet has a generated name, and the pods have their own generated names. That is the hierarchy in action. And here is the proof. kubectl get puh with the show labels flag. Every pod carries the label app equals web. That is how the ReplicaSet and deployment find them. Not by name, by label. Now the crown jewel of deployments, the rolling update. Change the image in your YAML from Jinx 1.27 to Jinx 1.28. Apply it. And Kubernetes does not tear everything down. It brings up new pods while old ones finish serving. 0 downtime. Here is the change. In the container spec, the image line goes from Jinx 1.27 to Jinx 1.28. That is the entire update. One line. Apply it, and the deployment rolls. Apply the updated manifest. Kubernetes sees the desired state changed and starts a rolling update. Now watch the update stream live with kubectl rollout status. It shows each new pod coming up and the old ones being scaled down. This is the crown jewel in action. Now the key moment. Run kubectl get deploy, rs, puh again. You see 2 ReplicaSets. The old one is scaled down to 0. The new one is running the new image. The ReplicaSets are the deployment's history. Now the rollback, the undo you never had with plain containers. Kubectl rollout undo. It reapplies the old ReplicaSet. The deployment simply rolls back to the previous version. Versioned, instant, safe. Confirm it with rollout status. The old image is back. The deployment rolled back to the previous ReplicaSet. This is the power of version deployments. Here is the insight. An update does not tear down and rebuild. Kubernetes brings up new pods while old ones finish serving. The ReplicaSets are a deployment's history, and rollback just reapplies the old ReplicaSet. 0 downtime updates, versioned. This is the pattern every production deployment combines later with canaries. Now scaling, the thing you will automate in Phase 3. kubectl scale. Set the replica count to 5. The replica set reconciles. It creates 2 more pods to match the desired state. And there they are. 5 pods. The replica set saw the desired count was 5, and it made it so. That is reconciliation. And scale back down to 3. The replica set terminates the extra pods. Desired state, reconciled. That is the whole game. Now your exercise. Save the deployment YAML as hello-deploy.yaml. Apply it, not create. Run kubectl get deploy, rs, poo and read the ReplicaSet ID. Edit the image to 1.28, apply, watch the rollout, and count the replica sets. Then sabotage, delete a pod, and watch it return. This time you know the replica set did it. Then roll back and confirm the version. Finally, scale to 5, delete a pod, and ask, does it come back? Yes. Which layer? Why? Now prove it. In one sentence each. 1. What is a replica set's private job? 2. Why do deployments use labels, not pod names, to find their pods? 3. What actually happens during a rolling update? Walk through apply, new pods, old pods. 4. After an update, why are there briefly 2 replica sets, and why is that a feature? Let's recap. Pod, the smallest unit Kubernetes runs. Replica set, the reconciliation engine that keeps in pods alive. Deployment, what you deploy, with rolling updates and rollbacks. Kubernetes finds everything by labels. And when the YAML feels like second nature, when duplicates are deleted and recreated, tell me, how many replica sets did you see after the update?